When growers and grocers meet gourmet chefs to put great food on Tennessee tables, that's Living Green. Join us as we visit McMinnville's green industry, as we dirty up a kitchen with country giant DJ Gator Harrison and Chef Matt Henson. We're going to travel to Nashville to Green Wagon General Store and get schools on pressure cookers from the Cookeville Can-Can girls. For garden treats, for affordable feast, and good news that's all green. It's Live Green Tennessee, and it's coming up next.
This program is brought to you in part by
Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This fall, there's fun worth finding just about every day at Tennessee farms, farmers markets, fairs, and festivals. You'll find corn mazes, pig races, farm animals and friendly faces, honey to eat, and fall colors that are a feast for the eyes. Whether you're looking for the perfect pumpkin or just a good scare, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
and by the generous support of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Connecting the grower to the buyer, the country to the city, and smart shopping with a healthy lifestyle. It's Live Green Tennessee.
Hello and welcome to Live Green Tennessee. I'm Melinda Kiefer and proud to be your host of this 60-minute magazine show designed to represent and inspire the growing number of Tennesseans who are choosing to think green. Living green can simply mean watching out for your wallet while following your traditional ways, purchasing local agriculture, or even watching out for the wildlife in your backyard. Middle Tennessee is a paradise of farm goods and services that are increasingly available to each and every one of us as affordable, fresh, and fun alternatives to less healthy choices. Middle Tennessee has deep roots in agriculture, and while some see the Living Green concept as newfangled, many older citizens will tell you that there's nothing new about buying local, cooking smart, and eating healthy. Many of our older citizens remember when it was a must to have a backyard garden, and Middle Tennessee has endured far greater economic downturns than we're experiencing today. But now we add to the lexicon of hard times terms like carbon footprint, energy sustainability, and global warming. These all seem too huge to handle, too far from home, and too global to grasp. But what many may not know is that Tennessee agriculture is already global, right now. Over 40% of state lands are farms of every description, forming a $44 billion industry that ships to major markets in China, Mexico, Turkey, Indonesia, and India. Tennessee agriculture generates 470,000 jobs that employ people from any number of nations. The catchphrase is to think global and act local, and we're here to help you with the second part. This program is part of a year-long Green Economics Initiative with WCTE that began at the Putnam County Fair. There, our seasoned correspondent Eli Schuster walked us through the Farmer for a Day booth. Responding to internet feedback and popular demand, we decided to begin our show with a replay of Eli's segment on how to be a farmer.
My name is Eli Schuster. I'm going to tell you how to be a farmer for a day at the Putnam County Fair. The first thing you get to do at Farm for a Day is feed a cow. He just loves him some milk every once in a while, maybe all the time. Yeah. Good cow. After you get to feed the baby cows, you get to see the miniature horses back here. After you get to see the miniature horses, hold your nose because here come the pigs. These pigs are really, really stinky. That's why there's a big fly infestation here. But it's a great, great place to learn more about pigs just by observing them. As you can see, we're inside where you get to see some good old ducks and chickens. Right here. This is how you call a duck. Wee, 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 wee. Let's do it again. Wee, 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 wee. Just in case you guys don't know, let's do it one more time. Wee, 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 wee. There you go. And when you get to be Farmer of the Day, you also get to pick up eggs that chickens have laid. After all this egg taking and apple picking, I guess it'd be a good time for a break. Okay, I'm good. Don't worry about being lost at Farmer of the Day because you get to follow the duckies. After you gather your eggs, it's also important to pick apples and pears from the tree. Just like Farmtown on Facebook. The Farmer of the Day's work is not complete without picking up some vegetables. Right here. Gotta be a good tomato in here. After a hard day of farmer's work, it's time to go to the country store to trade in our vegetables for a good goodie bag. Thank you very much, kind ma'am. Now you know what it feels like to be a Farmer of the Day. Well, you can go to Putnam County Fair and experience it yourself. Woo!
You'll be seeing a whole lot more of Eli on Live Green Tennessee. You know, anybody can be a farmer for a day, but living green is not just a rural lifestyle. Earlier this year, a Nashville couple opened a retail store with an old and a new twist. A neighborhood general store, the Green Wagon, is purveying Tennessee products to Tennesseans, and their success has seen them opening a second location in their very first year of operation.
The store opened on January 16th of this year. I was living in Tucson when I had the idea for the store. I was in graduate school and I had a lot of free time, so I found a job teaching recycling and water conservation. I was driving, to one store to get my toilet paper, but sometimes they didn't have it, so then I'd have to drive to the other side of town to get, toilet paper that was made out of recycled content, to another place to get my shampoo. It was just, I was like, why is someone not trying to put all of this under one roof for the people who care about shopping like this? Because if it was easy, I think more people would do it. And so while I was there, I had the idea for the store, and I knew that I needed to come back here to Nashville to open it because there was more of a need for it here, and I had more contacts and stuff here in the city. So
we picked Sylvan Park because it's got a population and a community that's very loyal to their neighborhood. They're a community that likes supporting businesses that are next to them, and they're also very supportive of this corridor that we're in. And they're also a very active community. They walk a lot and they ride their bikes a lot. And so being a green business, that's obviously very important to us as far as getting traffic and having customers come in.
I didn't expect to find so many products that were made in Tennessee. I'd hoped for that, but about 70% of the things that we sell here in the Green Wagon are made in Tennessee. Essentially, the goal is that every store is obviously not the same as this store here, because this store is specific to its location, and that's what the Green Wagon is. It doesn't make sense to have a store in Taos, New Mexico, where we have soaps that are made here in Nashville, because that defeats the whole purpose. All right, so the soap maker that I was just talking about also makes our laundry detergent, and it's called washing powder because you can use it as well for cleaning out your bathtub and your sinks and your tiles and things like that. And you only use a tablespoon per load of laundry. So this bag would last over 35 loads. It cleans really well. It makes your clothes really soft. You can use it in high efficiency washing machines. This is probably our best seller, and we have people come in and buy it all the time and come back the next day to tell us how much they loved doing their laundry the night before. So it must be good if people are that excited about laundry. So that's one thing we have, and it's made in Smyrna, Tennessee. So we sell a wide range of products since it's a green general store. We have clothing, and this is an organic cotton shirt. There are 3 sisters in Nashville, and they started this company called Ask Apparel. And they own a piece of land not too far from the shop, just maybe like a mile or 2. And they grow their own plants there, and they extract the natural plant dyes from the plants themselves, and they use them to dye these shirts. The black in this part is from walnuts, it's stained from walnuts. And this one is dyed with indigo that they grew themselves, this little baby onesie. All right, so this is an all-natural toothpaste that's made by a dentist in Murfreesboro. And he started making this toothpaste because he saw a need for an all-natural toothpaste. And he's right here in Murfreesboro, and he's going to start making mouthwash and some other products too. But this is his first one, and it's called Dr. Nate's Naturals. And it's one of our best sellers. There's a common misconception that to be environmentally friendly you have to have a lot of money, or that the products are going to cost a lot more. Well, with using local products here, we're not paying shipping costs. A lot of the suppliers bring their orders directly to us. We don't pay anything to have them shipped, so we can keep that cost out of the cost of the product for the customer.
The true cost of a product is not the sticker price. The true cost is really the cost of a product for humanity, the cost of it for shipping, the cost of it, the entire footprint is really much larger than what you just see on the sticker in most other stores.
And so it really, everybody kind of wins. It reduces the carbon footprint of the store, of the customers who shop here, and keeps the products more affordable. Keeps the cost down.
And also it really resonates with people that all the money is staying here locally for the most part.
For example, the soap maker who makes our soap that we have here, like when you buy a bar of soap, you're supporting this local store. You're supporting the local soap maker. She buys her buttermilk and her corn and all of her ingredients. Almost all of them come from local farmers. So just buying that one bar of soap, the profits from that trickle down pretty far into the local economy.
I decided that I wanted to start making all of these green products, and most of my stuff comes from local places around Tennessee. I like working with the local stores as opposed to going national. I like to really support all the businesses here in Tennessee.
I saw an article seeing that she had opened a store, and I had been looking for something similar but to incorporate my food. I specialize in those with food allergies. I like to have wheat, dairy, gluten, soy-free options. A lot of people don't realize that they have food allergies, and there are so few places to get food for those with food allergies.
I got in contact with Jen through Craigslist. I found her on that, gave her a call, and we worked together, and it's been great actually working with Jen. I was with her from the first day that she opened up the store.
The way I was introduced to Jennifer and the Green Wagon is through another vendor by the name of Alchemy of Soul, and she told me about it because her soaps are here in this store. And so I am a local vendor, and we believe in collaborating with local enterprises. As much as possible, the raw ingredients that we use in our natural skincare products are sourced locally.
We've recently started doing the West Nashville Farmers Market, and I'm selling quiche through there. Last week I sold out, so that's really great. And people love to know where the food is, and people are so excited when they hear, oh, it's at the Green Wagon.
I'd have to say that majority of my business, it's probably about a 70-30 sells through the Green Wagon. So I'm getting some great exposure from her. My business has really expanded in the last year.
We worked our tails off getting the second location open, and we have a small grab-and-go cooler. We offer coffee and tea here. And free Wi-Fi, so people can kind of hang. This is probably 6 times the size of the store in Sylvan Park. So we're just hoping that it really booms and takes off.
Only being open for 8 months, we've really found overwhelming support and success here at the Green Wagon West store. And I think that's what allowed us to be able to open up a second store so quickly. We found a lot of customers that we had coming into the store here lived in East Nashville. And East Nashville it's probably the same neighborhood here as Sylvan Park, but just 10 years younger. So it's an area that's going through gentrification. It's an area that a lot of younger families are able to afford their first homes. And it's a place where they want to raise their children and grow them. And so it's also a very loyal community. What we'll find, I think, is going to be a lot of the same here in Sylvan Park with people that really get the general store idea. So they'll pop by and grab a bar of soap on their way to work. So that's our biggest goal, is to have people just know that they can come in every day and get products. They don't have to make one massive trip to the supermarket or to a huge store to buy everything they need for the month. Because we're here, we're convenient, we're easy, there's no lines. So that's the idea behind the Green Wagon.
Opportunities abound to buy green in Middle Tennessee. Recently, WCTE dropped in on the Putnam County Farmers Market.
Well, I'm Justin Gates. I've been selling for about a month now here. I sell all over, but I try to come and sell to the public.
I've been coming to the market about 8 years now. I think it's a good service for the community. I think the people can get a real good deal by coming to the market.
Hi, I'm Ruth Apple. We've been coming to the market just this year, but I was raised on a farm, and my grandparents, my mom and daddy, and so I know a lot about farming. It's so important that you come out and buy good, real food, what we call real food.
I'm selling watermelons today. Early in the year I had berries, blackberries, blueberries, and that's principally what I sell.
We sell local Angus farm beef. We raise our beef. It's USDA inspected, all vacuum packed, ready to go in the freezer.
My brother's Ron Johnson, the county agent up in Lewiston. He says that the Incredible is #1 yellow corn in the country.
We have a goat's farm, and I use all the milk to make a soap and lotion, and the new product is coming out is a shampoo.
These are all Amish jams and honey.
We raise it locally. We raise them from a baby, and we pasture them. It's grain fed for the last 120 days, and we also have pork.
We have all kinds of vegetables. We also have mums this time of year, and about anything you'd want.
It's all natural, no preservatives.
Really helps the farmers if you come to the farmers market and buy our produce. So it's all fresh, all homegrown here.
And the money going to a mission in Kenya for the next spring that our church going to go up there. I went last year, and this is other thing will help support in the family.
You're getting a better product. You're getting products that are locally raised. Most of them are. They don't have herbicides, and that's always a good thing. And when you get it at the grocery stores, most of them, they don't have that.
I mean, I think, the farmers, just like anybody else, they need to, be able to sell their product to the public and, be supported by the public. And, I buy from the other farmers as well as sell jams and stuff.
Love to visit with the people.
I just like to come out and talk with folks and, just kind of enjoy it.
I like to meet the people. They're nice people out here. That's why I like to come out here, whether I sell anything or not.
So once you've scored that armful of seasonal goodies from the farmer's market, what's next? Well, we asked country giant morning DJ Gator Harrison to invite some of his favorite chefs into the kitchen for some tips on eating green.
Hey guys, welcome in the kitchen. We're going to teach you how to live green, Tennessee, or eat green. If it's about eating, I'm all about it. Matt Henson here from Maddox Station. What are you going to teach us how to make?
Well, we're going to make a apple and sweet potato bisque.
All right, sounds good to me. Where do we start? How do we get started here?
All right.
Oh, hey, there we go. It's a good start right there. And
the
2
heat
men in
going.
the kitchen. You guys should be afraid. See, men can do this, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
All right, very good. Where do we go?
Well, we're going to start with the bacon.
Oh, I
We need to-
love bacon. Are you
we
kidding
gotta-
me? Is this me? Do I get to use this?
Yeah, just chop it in thirds, and
All right, very good.
we're going to start rendering the bacon down.
So how long has Maddox been open?
Well, we opened in May of last year, so a little over a year.
Very good.
Pretty excited.
This is me and my wife's favorite restaurant. I won't lie to you. We love it. All right, what do we do now? I've got it chopped.
Well, now get some of that oil.
All right. What's this called? That looks interesting.
This is it's an olive oil blend because it has a higher smoke point. But we do want to get that olive oil flavor in there, so we do a blended oil
Absolutely.
just so it doesn't smoke up too much. Just put a little bit in there to wake up the bacon. Just
Very
put that
good.
in there. You know, we're going into fall and sweet potatoes, and you can do this same recipe with sweet potatoes, butternut squash, even pumpkin, and the apples just add a little bit more sweetness to it.
And not just any apple, though, because we're talking Live Green Tennessee.
Yeah,
these are Tennessee products, right?
Right. This particular apple is called an Ozark apple.
An Ozark apple.
Yeah.
Where's it found at? My neighbor's tree. I got it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I got it from Malco Produce, and I talked to the guy today, and he
Right.
said these came from Harriman, Tennessee.
Very good.
So,
It smells good. I love bacon.
While this is rendering down, and you want to let the bacon get kind of crispy,
sure.
Why don't we go ahead and put our sweet potatoes and apples in, because this will take about 45 minutes to to cook. So we want to just throw them on a sheet pan. Very simple. Bake them like that.
Okay, so we're just going to stick them in the oven back here? I'll be your assistant. It's okay, Matt. Keep rolling,
Like
brother.
350 for 45 minutes to an hour. And you can just get a toothpick and continually poke it until it...
And so you just stick them in just like that? No
Yeah.
preparation,
You're
no...
done.
Okay, very good.
You're done. All the flavors are here.
All right,
So
very good. Well, let's get back to the flavors then.
grab an onion.
All right.
Now just quarter it and throw it right in here.
Now, when you say quartered, I'm sorry, just to...
In fourths.
In fourths, I got you. Okay. I didn't realize math was going to be involved, Matt. Come on. Can you tell I do a lot of cooking at home?
Yeah.
Would
that
you
was
like
great.
Would you like some oatmeal toast?
No, you can just throw it in because, you know,
Oh, yes.
the knife skills aren't going to come in too important because we're just going to puree this up. And
All right, very good. We got our bacons, we got our onions.
now
This is looking good.
grab those garlic cloves.
I just want to smell is what I want to smell. All right, garlic cloves.
Yeah, now these have already been peeled.
All right.
And what we're going to do is just cut these little, the end of garlic has the little root end.
Okay.
We just want to cut that, just
Very good.
very easily just cut that off.
Back to the knife here. You know, my wife doesn't trust me with a knife at home. You married?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you got kids?
I have 2 girls.
Oh, my goodness. I've got
about
one
to be
girl.
2 and about to be 4.
Really? See, I got a 3-year-old. They're all right there together. They can get together, and you can, your kids can teach my kids how to cook. That would be great. Well, I know at my house, the kid comes,
can
jumps
learn
up on the counter, and it's cooking together. Her and my wife do it together. So
Yeah.
it's kind of that kind of concept.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm sorry, what do I need to do here?
Just throw that garlic in straight
Oh.
like that. We're not even going to chop it. We're just
Oh,
going to...
man.
And
I don't know if you guys can smell this at home, but wow. Let me put the knife down before I hurt somebody.
Yeah, it's hard to really go wrong with bacon. And see, you know, the bacon, what we have here is, you know, we have sweet potatoes, and you got the sweetness from the apple. And anytime I come up with a dish, and soup is kind of interesting, is you can create kind of like the complexity of a whole meal in one dish. So you got the smokiness and the saltiness from the bacon, the sweetness from the apple. And that's really, really basically my philosophy in cooking is not so much trying to do something nobody's done before or you know, make food explode or pile it up real high. It's just do things real simple and just take an ingredient for what it is and try to make the flavors either complement or contrast each other and just kind of create harmony through that.
Food to match the mood at Maddox Station. Very good. Well, that's what I love about it, because you never know when you go in. It's always almost like an exploration in food to look at your menu and try something new. All right. So we're just letting this cook.
Yeah, we're just letting it, and you can see it's getting the vegetables are getting caramelized, and that's all important with developing the flavors. You don't want to just, you don't want to just throw everything in there and let it boil.
Sure.
You want to make sure that the vegetables get caramelized, the bacon gets crisp, everything is developing flavors in that way.
Now, it's Live Green Tennessee, all of these products made right here in Tennessee, so it's a meal that you can be proud of. Is it healthy? I mean, is this good for feeding my family?
Absolutely. Aside from the bacon.
Oh, come on.
But we also want it to taste good, so.
Absolutely. Well,
that bacon.
and if you're just joining us, Live Green, Tennessee, we're making bisque. It's all healthy. It's all made right here in Tennessee. Now, as far as the time-wise, if you are a mom or a dad and you're planning a meal like this, how long would this meal normally take to make?
I think from start to finish, when you you get the potatoes started and the apples, and you just do this in the meantime. So I think you're waiting on that stuff.
Right.
And what you'll see is now we can start putting the flour in.
All right.
And we just probably a tablespoon or two, just to enough to soak up the oil in the bottom of the pan, just so it'll be thick and you won't have a layer of oil on the top of the pan that we don't want.
I got you. Is there a flour of choice that Maddox Station uses?
Well, this is
whatever's on sale.
This is just all-purpose. We use unbleached flour.
Sure.
I don't know. I just think where I think you can taste the bleach.
Right.
That just might be me being weird. But
well, you know, you're well trained in your weirdness, and you're very good at what you do. If you've ever eaten at Maddox Station, you know that. So we got our flour in here. What else can we add in?
Start adding liquid. If you would, just kind of sneak over there and grab that special bottle there.
My preacher's watching. This is not mine. That's all I'm saying.
This is just a little brandy.
Flavoring it up.
Traditional bisques will have brandy in it.
Bisque.
You don't
Okay,
have
good.
to add brandy if you don't want to. We'll try not to blow up the D.T. McCall's store here.
By the way, a lovely kitchen that they have for us.
But you smell how that brandy adds another.
It does.
You know, once the alcohol cooks out, you'll still be left with that kind of sweet.
Very good.
Sweetness from the brandy.
All right. So what do we do? We're just kind of letting it
now
simmer?
that's cooked out. So you
Okay.
grab that pitcher there with the thing sticking out.
Oh, I got you. Very good. You know,
That
that's what we
has-
call it at my house too, Matt. It's nice to know that professionals call it the same thing we do.
Okay.
Thing with the pitcher in it. All right, good.
No, this is just water, and I'm just going to slowly add the water.
Now, how much water do you add to this?
Well, to this one, I'll probably add, this is probably like 10 cups.
Okay.
And then I'll just let that start to simmer.
Very good.
And now we'll get the sweet potatoes out of the oven.
All right.
And we'll start working on that.
Sounds good. Now, how long has this been in the oven?
This has been in about an hour. And and trust me, it's a lot easier to peel it this way than peel it before you put it in. So
Something tells me when he says peel, I've got a job to do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Why don't we do this together?
All right, let's do it. So is there a secret to it? It just kind of comes right off?
Yeah, it just comes right off. It's been roasted and the peel just stays away.
wow.
Just make sure you get all the peel off. And you know, you'll see where it's gotten a little dark. That's
Sure.
actually really good. It's where the sugars in the potato have caramelized.
Oh, really?
So
Now that I didn't
that'll
know.
add another level of sweetness to it.
All
Just
right.
drop it right in
Just
there.
drop it right in? Okay, good. I got to work on my dropping.
Try
All
not
right, very
to,
good.
Try not to scald yourself.
Well, besides prison, this is the first time I've ever peeled potatoes, so I'm just kidding, Mom. Mom, I'm kidding. I've never been to prison. Very good. Much better. I'm getting better.
Okay, and with the apples, when you take the cooked flesh from the apple,
Sure, so you're just taking the skin off
you
the
just
apple.
want to make sure not to put the core in there because it's still very tough and it has the seeds. At this point, we're just going to turn the heat up. I'll let you grab that tool there it's called an immersion blender.
Very good. Oh yeah, the flavors are just rising up. Man, it smells incredible.
Okay, now.
All right.
As you see, I have a little heavy cream there.
All right, very good. Do I shake this?
You can shake
Because when
it,
I was
yeah.
in elementary school, you always had to shake it up now. All right.
And now we're going to add a little salt
Okay.
just to get it started, and then we'll taste it. And
Now what kind of, is that just table salt that you're adding in there?
well, actually, we use kosher salt at the restaurant.
And can, regular folks like me, can we pick that up at the grocery store? pretty easy?
Absolutely. It's they have it at the grocery store.
Is one enough?
One is enough.
So one, and what we just put in is heavy whipping cream.
It is.
Heavy whipping cream.
It is.
Is that just for texture? Is it for
It does. It
flavor?
adds a
What is
little.
it?
It adds a little bit more richness to it.
I noticed it kind of thickened up.
It thickens it up.
Wow. You know what? They need to invent scratch and sniff TV because wow, the smell
of
is
it.
wonderful. Oh my goodness.
And the great thing about these is the sweet potatoes, it purees up really nice. Now I'm going to get some of this honey. Honey will just add a little bit more of sweetness to it than it already has.
And so how much are you adding?
I'm adding
Just
about a
little?
tablespoon right now.
Very good. All right, so this simmers and you've got it. How long do you cook it or simmer
Well,
from here?
we're almost there. At
All
this
right.
point, I'm just going to start tasting.
Ah.
This is where the real cooking comes in.
All right, very good.
So I take my spoon.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry. I thought you were offering.
And I just ladle it onto there. That's how we taste at the restaurant. So we're not we don't double dip.
We do it in my house. So if you're ever eating in my house, just know that I am double dipping. All right.
I think we're ready to go.
All right, very
and I think
good.
I think soup. I have a passion for soup.
Sure.
Because like I said, it's just it's a one-pot dish, and you have you can create all this complexity within it.
Right.
You have the applewood smoked bacon. So
Sure.
you have the bacon that's smoked with applewood, and now we have incorporated apples. So
Right.
it's kind of all this as simple as soup is, it's something that's actually can put a lot of thought into and really just blow people away with.
And I would imagine cost effective too. I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah.
meal is not, how much would you say this meal costs to make? Just because we want to see the markup at Maddox State. I'm just kidding.
I would say this pot altogether, probably $4, $5.
Are you kidding me?
The apples are what because
Wow.
these are
The Ozarks.
local apples that
Sure.
you're going to pay a little bit more for.
And all right, now you mentioned it's ready. Is it ready for
It's ready
maybe
to
a,
eat.
maybe a spoon or something?
Yeah, we'll get. Actually, we can
for
do
your
better than that.
handy cooking sidekick.
We can do
who's
better than
Really
that.
hungry? Oh, are you kidding me? We get a bowl.
Yeah.
All right, sweet potato bisque.
And then
right?
we'll put a little bit of these pecans on there.
Oh yeah, pecan me up.
Just for a little texture. And there
Very
you go.
good. All right, if I can hand a spoon. Oh, listen, Matt Henson, if you're looking for wonderful, creative food, Maddox Station, if you're in the Cookeville area. And hot. Oh, that's good, though. That's good.
Hey, thanks.
Appreciate you coming in. Thanks for helping us live green, Tennessee.
Wow, what a great recipe. You'll be able to find that recipe and a link to the Maddox Station restaurant on the Live Green website. So you can buy the produce and you can have it prepared for you. But a growing number of people are taking advantage of Tennessee's long growing season by establishing their own home garden. The gardeners are almost as diverse as the gardens themselves.
My name is John Jonathan. I'm a professor of economics at Tennessee Tech, Cookeville, Tennessee. The house here is about 2.5 miles from Tech, which permits me to ride my bike. Again, a good form of exercise and lowers my carbon footprint. When I'm out on my bike, I look around for bags of mulch that people have put inside the road, the grass that they've bagged when they've mowed their lawns, and I can run back later in my truck and pick them up and then bring them back and just spread it on the garden. I lived here about 18 years, at this current house for about 15. I think of it as my urban homestead. It's a big lot, about 3/4 of an acre, and that permits me to do a large garden. Probably a little too much, but whatever's left over, the neighbors seem to enjoy, so I really enjoy doing the garden. Even though it's late August at this point, it's possible to have lots of stuff coming in the garden if you just stagger some of the plantings. And for instance, the squash here is a third planting, and I've had these almost continuously now for about 3 months. It's not hard to do at all. This is a yellow squash called Zephyr, and it's a yellow squash with a kind of green nose, very tasty. The only problems that you'll encounter with squash this time of year typically will be the downy mildew, which is a mold that grows on the leaf that can eventually really weaken the plant. But you can buy some organic fungicides for this that really beat it back and keep the plants healthy. But little water on these things and they'll produce for quite a while. So lots of squash with a little bit of effort. The beans here are also a plant or a crop that's easily staggered in terms of the planting time, which again means that you can have lots of beans over an extended period. But staggering these beans means that you can have a steady supply for an extended period of time. This is the third planting I've done of the green beans, and I've had them now for about 3 months. And these will be producing well into October. All I got to do is throw a little water on them occasionally if it stays dry, and there will be lots of beans. On this side, I have a sweet potato planting. Sweet potatoes tend to root as they grow out in an invasive fashion, and if you permit them to root, then it diminishes the energy that goes to the mother plant. So what I've done is to mulch these heavily and keep them snipped back. And as long as I can keep them from rooting, and you can see here the roots that they want to send out as they spread, if I can keep these from rooting, then I think it's going to generate a lot of potato come October. Over here I have about 6 or 7 plants of a sweet red pepper. This is an Italian variety called Carmen that I got from Johnny's Seeds. It's a hybrid, and it's going to be hard to find this at a local plant nursery, so you've got to start a seed like this on your own. But as you can see, these are really prolific, and it is a drop-dead good eating pepper. This thing is sweet. It's great for eating fresh or split in two and stuffed and baked in the oven. Carmen. It's getting towards the end of the season here for the okra plants. They're putting on some fruit, but not a whole lot at this point. As you can see, that a lot of these plants have already bit the dust. They're susceptible, like tomatoes, to a lot of wilts and diseases. And since these aren't hybrids, I can save the seed. And what I've tried to do in the last few years is save the seed from a few of the plants that have best survived the diseases, thinking I can breed in a little bit of resistance over time. So this is a fall red raspberry called a Heritage planting that I put out last year, 24 plants, and it has spread immensely since then. I can come out here most days at this point still, even though the bulk of the crop has been picked, and probably pick over a quart of berries. These things are really great fresh, but if you're going to use them for something other than just eating, what I often do is make them into a syrup and put over pancakes. Just take out the quantity you want, mash them a little bit in a pot, and throw some sugar in, sweeten them to taste, and perhaps a little cornstarch to thicken to the consistency that you want. And keep them on the stove for just a little while, bring it to a light boil maybe, and let the cornstarch and the syrup do their work, and you've got some of the greatest syrup in the world to put over pancakes.
The business of green has long been established in McMinnville. Though they've recently gone through very tough times, McMinnville is still one of the premier garden nursery locations in the entire nation. Did you know that landscaping can increase a property's value by up to 10% or more? Plus, the American Public Power Association reports that proper landscaping can reduce a homeowner's energy costs by up to 50% just by knowing what to plant and where.
I've often been asked why Tennessee has such a large range of nurseries, or a large number of nurseries. And part of the reason is we have over 600 native occurring species in the Upper Cumberland or Middle Tennessee area. And that gives us a wide variety of plants that we can grow and ship to different parts of the country. To put that into perspective, the entire continent of Europe only has 32 naturally occurring species.
Statewide green industry, retail, you're looking at $3.9 billion in sales and 51,000 jobs.
Our products go as far north as Bangor, Maine, as far south as, say, Jacksonville, Florida. We can go to the west, to the panhandle of Texas, and then up the East Coast as well. It just gives us a good competitive growing advantage over other parts of the country.
The state of Tennessee reports that there's 242 nurseries, and that's certified nurseries in Warren County. But talking with many nurseries in the area that buy from smaller growers, backyard growers, homeowners that work at many of the factories in town, and they they plant a few nursery plants just to produce a little extra income and help carry them through.
We were just very fortunate. It kind of got started in this area. The infrastructure and the knowledge base built around the industry. You know, we have people that know what to do, when. You know, there's families that have been growing here for generations. In In the last 3 or 4 years, our industries took a tremendous hit. First, we had the freeze of '07, which devalued our crops probably by 30%.
We had temperatures in the teens after dealing with weather in the 80s and 85s, which caused all of our plant material to respond to an active growing situation.
Following that, we had the drought, which further deteriorated our inventory. And now we've got the economic downturn, and none of us saw, how far-reaching and how the effects of this was going to be. Our businesses, pretty much across the board are off 30 to 40%, as with most businesses in the area.
I've talked to many nurseries in the area that presently are seeing declines in sales of up to 40%. And when you take an operation that could be a multi-million-dollar operation, that runs into a sizable amount of money.
Currently, our industry is very fortunate. We've got the Horticulture Research Institute that we all fund through private donations. They are kind of our leader in developing areas to make us more sustainable through mechanization.
Right now, the things that we're doing is to try to be innovative and increase our cash crops, short turnovers. We're getting into where we've had losses of trees. We're replacing through the summer months with short-term cash crops. We got into the berry business, which helps our cash flow in the spring and summer. And then we're also planting produce and different types of products like that to get into the direct market, local markets, and help stimulate our cash flow to help us through the slow times.
Well, our industry's always thrived on, trying to sell, a beautiful scenery or a beautiful environment. Now, more than ever, our companies, the nursery industries, are trying to become more sustainable, which is a new word for us, and we're trying to, make our products more green friendly, because as with any industry, there's things that we can do to be more progressive as far as lowering our carbon footprint, so to speak.
Another thing that's interesting about trees, what is the value of a tree? And there's been different research done and actually numerical values attached to, but a lot of people don't realize that one mature tree produces enough oxygen to support 10 human beings in a year. Trees are known to shade and cool homes. In the wintertime, when if trees are properly planted, you can save up to 30% on your electric bills, and likewise on your cooling bills when plants are properly located.
Here's an example of a green vase zelkova. It's kind of a vase-shaped tree, and this is a tree that you might want to plant on the western side of your home. Whereas if you had a stout north wind hitting your house, you might want to plant evergreens. It's basically just figuring out the different size and shape and growth habits of the plant to use them as a tool to help you lower your energy cost.
Trees are used to clean soil. They absorb harmful chemicals, pollutants, filter sewage. Trees are also known as carbon sinks, which they absorb carbon dioxide. They also absorb carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide.
We encourage people to use professional landscapers, to go to professional garden centers, to get good advice about where to plant the right tree. It's difficult sometimes when you maybe go to a mass merchant or somewhere, which it's good to always, to try to buy green trees or to buy a product to plant. But a lot of times you don't get the advice that you need when you go to a professional company to purchase your product. A tree is just like anything else. You've got to know how to take care of it and know where to put it in the right place to be successful. And it's such a huge investment. We always encourage people to talk to professionals before they plant. I guess the main thing is people need to realize that plants are tools. They can use them to lower their energy bills. You want to plant the right plant in the right place. And all too often, people have tried to go it alone or do it themselves. And it's always a good idea to either research on the internet, talk with a local professional, hire that professional to do the job for you, and that way you're more likely to have better results versus just buying a tree and planting it wherever you think it might look right.
Hi, I'm Dr. Op Walker, a clinical pharmacologist. Today we'll take a walk through the medicine garden. We'll look at the medicine attributes of the tomato. You know, it wasn't too long ago that nutritionists thought of foods as foods, but now we know that through scientific research that foods can also be medicinal objects as well. It's believed that the tomato originated in the Andes Mountains of South America, eventually making its way into Europe. Most people over there would not eat it because they thought it was toxic, but the French did eat it, declared it to be an aphrodisiac, named it the love apple. As far as we know, this is the first mention of any medicinal attributes to any vegetable or fruit. Most historians give Thomas Jefferson the credit as the one bringing tomatoes to America as food. As a matter of fact, by 1824, tomatoes were widely grown and eaten throughout the eastern and northeastern United States. But the question came up, are tomatoes fruits or are they vegetables? Believe it or not, this went all the way to the Supreme Court in 1893, and the court concluded that, botanically speaking, tomatoes are indeed fruits, but in the vernacular of the common citizen, tomatoes are vegetables. Tomatoes are the #1 cultivated vegetable in the world, followed by cabbage, onions, and cucumbers. Tomatoes are known as superfoods, and the definition of a superfood is a food that contains one or more medicinal attributes. What makes a tomato a superfood? Tomatoes contain the chemical lycopene, and lycopene is the chemical that gives the tomato its red color. Lycopene is the most powerful antioxidant found in any vegetables. Now realize that a lot of people love the taste of yellow tomatoes, but be warned that a red tomato contains 10 times more lycopene than does a yellow tomato. Lycopene is reduced in the blood circulation of individuals who smoke. For example, an individual who smokes only 3 cigarettes a day can reduce their blood circulating lycopene level by as much as 40%. Individuals who eat heavy meals, high fatty meals, these individuals can reduce their blood circulation of lycopene by 25%. Unfortunately, the tomato growing season in Tennessee is coming to a close, but the good news is that since the lycopene content of tomatoes are released when the product is cooked, all winter long we can benefit from tomato sauce, tomato juice, and tomato paste. A half a cup of chopped raw tomatoes only contains 8 milligrams of lycopene. To give you an idea about the value of heating the tomato to get the lycopene content, 1 cup of tomato juice contains 3 times that much, 23 milligrams. Half a cup tomato sauce contains 22 milligrams, and only 2 tablespoons of tomato paste contains 18 milligrams. In conclusion, remember that tomatoes must be cooked. Their absorption is enhanced if you eat them along with cooked dark vegetables such as spinach, broccoli. Also, some of the seasonal vegetables cooked along with eating the tomatoes, such as squash, such as carrots and sweet potatoes, also enhance the absorption. So remember, the next time you go to your grocery store, be sure to load up on those tomatoes, cook them, get tomato juice, tomato sauce, tomato paste, and for maximum lycopene health. This is Op Walker from the Medicine Garden.
The power of plants to enrich your health might only be improved with the power of friends to lift your spirit. In Cookeville, one group of friends have been getting together for years for canning and camaraderie. They call themselves the Can Girls.
This is Treva Luke, and we're at her house. And Treva's the mastermind behind all this.
Now I work too.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
We all work, so we get together on Friday, and this is our Friday thing to do. And we've already canned about 140 quarts of green beans. We get together every Friday and break the beans and put them in the jars and can them. A lot of people have chosen to have alternative gardens this year that for lack of garden space or the lack of having a tractor and a plow to disc a garden up. So this was an alternative that we used. A lot of people are using patio gardens. This is a dead tree stump, and we moved dirt in around it, and we planted tomatoes, and you'll see we have an abundant crop of tomatoes. We've got green peppers, and on the other side, We planted sweet potatoes. We came out every once in a while and pulled the weeds, and it made a quick, economical garden. You can have a garden anywhere you want if you would just find a little bit of space.
You know, you just plant and hope, I guess, is what we do, you know. Treva and I were talking a while ago about when we first started canning, which was when we were kids. You know, of course, we had to help our parents because all of us grew up on a farm. And Debbie said, how did you can your beans? And Treva said, you built a bar outside and put a lard can, what you call a lard can, that lard used to come in, put water in that and put your beans in it, and you canned them 4 hours outside. And you had to keep pushing that fire under there, you know, to make it heat up, and you kept that boiling 4 hours. And that's, you know, that's been a long time ago, but we've been canning. You know, so I grew up doing all this, and I'm really glad I did. I think that's the best experience a kid could ever have.
Well, this is the perfect thing for anybody that, 2 or 3 people that want to get together, have a community garden or share in the master garden, to get together, plant your stuff together, and then we just all work together to put it up. And it's a lot of fun, and it creates a bond that you don't ever forget. We've got 7 cans in the canner now, and it'll take about 55 minutes.
Yeah, to an hour, and then we've got 3 canners.
Okay.
That we'll use after a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can have 21 quarts going at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the good part of doing it together.
And the really good part is that we can give Amanda a whole bucket of beans.
Yes, we can.
And she can just
break them
and freeze.
That's right. And we always manage to get the canner on backwards. But if you look on the front of your canner, it'll have the newer canners will say open and closed and have a little mark on it. All the canners will have this little thing sticking up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all mine has. It doesn't have the open and closed because my canner's so old. Sue's got a newer, nicer canner. Have respect for the machine. Follow the directions. If you've built up too much steam and it went into the caution area that we were talking about, the first thing that will happen is this will pop out. If that pops out, you're in the danger zone, you know, to immediately get that off the stove, turn it off, and to let the steam down. If you've missed that, the next thing is the whole thing's going to explode, and I hope you're here to tell us about it.
But Roy, Treva's husband, when we first started canning, of course he's passed away, but when we first started canning, Roy made 3 gardens. He didn't want anything bought, and you know, he loved for us to can. And we really started out just as a fun thing, you know, because Roy wanted his stuff canned. And he made 3 gardens, and we canned all of that, didn't we, Treva? We canned everything in every garden that he grew. It didn't, whatever there was, you know.
And this is some of Treva's pickled squash. That's so pretty and so delicious. And it's just pickles, isn't it? Squash pickles, though.
I make a lot of recipes up, but I can write them down, you know, the ingredients. But as far as the amount, well, I don't measure. Just a dash here and a dash there.
Put as much salt as you want to in there.
So the Can Girls have been living green and saving money for over 25 years. We want to hear from you. What are your living green energy saving tips that you could share with us? WCTE is going to have a competition for Live Green Tennessee. We want to hear in 1 minute or less your money saving Live Green tips. Contact us via our webpage, Twitter, Facebook, give us a call, all the information you will see on our screen. Live Green Tennessee is all about getting the information to you. One of our goals is to connect you, the consumer, with the producers in the Middle Tennessee area. You can find out more information about all the things you've seen on our show on our website, Live Green Tennessee. Check us out on Facebook and on Twitter too. We'd love to hear from you. Send us some of your thoughts and suggestions and even your favorite recipes. Also, we'd like to share with you a wonderful resource called The Local Table. This is a guide to food and farms in Middle Tennessee. It is a great resource. It has a list of all the farms, where to buy blueberries, where to find the freshest apples, and on the back it even gives you a seasonal guide of what's in season right now. It won't be long before it'll be time to pick those pumpkins. We hope you've enjoyed Live Green Tennessee, and we hope you'll join us next time as we attend Pumpkin Boot Camp, travel to Amazing Acres in White County, and stop some grapes with our neighbors at Delmonica Winery, right here on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by
Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This fall, there's fun worth finding just about every day at Tennessee farms, farmers markets, fairs, and festivals. You'll find corn mazes, pig races, farm animals and friendly faces, honey to eat, and fall colors that are a feast for the eyes. Whether you're looking for the perfect pumpkin or just a good scare, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
and by the generous support of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.